Historic Michie Stadium, West Point, New York. The Pitt Panthers with a record of 8-1. Hopeful of a major bowl bid this afternoon as they take on the Army Cadets, 3-5-1 under first-year coach Ed Kavanaugh. Army defends the goal to the right and has elected to receive after winning the coin toss. The squib kick by David Trout is taken by Zabkar. A good hit by Ray Lau, and Army starts 1st and 10 at its own 29-yard line. Freshman quarterback Brian Allen pitching back to the right side to Gerald Walker. He picks up 6 yards, setting up a 2nd down and 4. Army at its own 35-yard line. Now watch Allen, the freshman, as he shows motion from Pruitt, covers his own fumble and loses 2 yards, setting up a 3rd down and 6. Watch number 87 for the Panthers, Ricky Jackson, who's to become Sports Illustrated's Defensive Player of the Week. Blocks the pass, intercepts the pass, and the Panthers thwart the Army drive. Pitt has the possession of the football, 1st and 10 at the Army 26-yard line. Pitt's all-time leading passer, Rick Tricano, handing off to his freshman tailback, Joe McCall, 2 yards to the Army 24. It's 2nd down, 8. An inviting target for Tricano all season long is freshman sensation Dwight Collins. Collins gets open underneath the coverage by the Army Cadets and picks up a 1st and goal for the Panthers at the Army 7-yard line. A 17-yard pickup. Tricano on the roll. Fires and skips the pass low in the end zone intended for Collins. Love and Sweeney defending for Army. It's 2nd down and goal from the 7. This time it's Collins with a good move and into the end zone for the 7-yard scoring strike. Tricano to Collins, and the Panthers are quickly on the board after a minute 7 of the football game. David Trout's extra point is up and good, and the Panthers lead the contest 7-0 early first quarter. Trout's second kickoff taken at the 4-yard line by Roll. Roll comes out and is hit by Michael Woods, number 96, the sophomore from Natchez, Mississippi. Army starts at its own 20. Allen handing off to Gerald Walker. No gain. As a matter of fact, he lost a yard on the play, so it's 2nd down and 11. This time they try the pitch. Greg Meisner with a great job on the tackle. Help from Terry White coming up in run support from his cornerback position. Army on 3rd and 15 from its own 15. Going to the draw play. Waldorf is tackled by Hugh Green. And that is a loss on the play of 4 yards, so Army decides to punt the football. Sartiano is the Army punter. Julius Dawkins is a Panther return man, but the up man, Tommy Flynn, takes the short punt on the fair catch, a 47-yard effort, and the Panthers start 1st and 10, make that a 32-yard effort, and the Panthers starting 1st and 10 at the Army 47. Good pickup by Jackrabbit Joe McCall. Picks up a Panther 1st down, gets 18 yards to the 30-yard line, and the Panthers have a 1st and 10. Rick Tricano, straight back, looking, with time, firing downfield, and the pass is intercepted. It comes up short. Chris Zawi is the man with the football for Army, and he returns it. The pass intended for Dwight Collins, but finally making the tackle is Michael Dombrowski. Army starts 1st and 10 at its own 23. 7-0, Panthers lead. Army's second possession. Gerald Walker tries the outside, and Hugh Green is there to smother the play. That is a pickup of 6 yards. Army now with a 2nd and 4. Allen hands off to Walker going to the left side, and he tries to find some running room, and he gets the yardage to the 30. That's only a gain of 1, so Army with a 3rd and 3 at its own 30. The hit by Jerry Boyarsky. The fumble recovered by Hugh Green, and the Panthers have the ball. 1st and 10 at the Army 14. Joe McCall gets the call. McCall picks his way close to that Army goal line. He has a 1st and goal for the Panthers at the 1-yard line. And the call goes to Wayne the Train, number 31, junior Wayne DiBartola, who is a pre-med and engineering major. How about that for a double combination on the majors? And how about that for Wayne's first career rushing touchdown? A 1-yard plunge as the Panthers on top 13-0, and David Trout and company come on for the extra point to make it 14-zip. Trout's 3rd kickoff of the afternoon comes down at the 7-yard line and is taken by Roll. And Troy Hill does a good job of tripping him up, the freshman from Toms River, New Jersey. 1st and 10, Army at its own 26. Allen with a fake pitch, rolling out. Boyarsky in hot pursuit on the pass, intended on the far side of the field for Pruitt. Good coverage on the play by Steve Fidel. Army now with a 2nd and 10. Face mask infraction against Pitt has Army with a 1st and 10 at its own 43. Walker off the left side. Ricky Jackson with a tackle. Walker picks up 4 yards. It's 3rd down and 6. Allen this time is tripped by Fidel behind the line, and Army on 4th and 13 again is forced into the punting situation. Joe Sardiano awaits the snap. From centers, the long snapper for the Army Cadets, 3-5-1 on the year so far. Julius Dawkins takes and looks for the wall on the left side. It's not there. And he runs out of pasture as he's knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field. After a 9-yard return, a good 50-yard punt by Sardiano, as there's very little wind as a factor this afternoon. If there is, it's left to right. Here comes Joe McCall again. 1st and 10, the Panthers at their own 19, and McCall gets 18 yards to the 37. McCall on the afternoon, by the way, 63 yards on only 6 carries. There's Wayne the Train on the slant to the left on the delay. And DiBartola gets enough. He gets 7 yards to set up a 2nd and 3rd. Pitt at its own 44-yard line, leaning 14-0. This pass intended for Benji Pryor, off his fingertips, incomplete. It sets up a 3rd down and 3. Rick Tricano calls his own number. It's the quarterback draw. Behind the blocking of Russ Grimm, and also up front, Emil Boris. It's a good job by Tricano, picking up yardage to the 47 where the Panthers have a 1st and 10. He needed 3. He got 3. All day to throw. Over the middle. The pass is knocked down and intercepted by Army. Garrison, but it is a pass interference call against the Cadets. You saw the bump right before the ball got there. And so the referee decides that the Panthers have a 1st and goal at the Army 7. Tricano surveying the situation. Pitt's all-time leading passer, the senior from Brooklyn, Ohio, back to pass. Again with plenty of time, into the end zone. Willie Collier, the senior from Cordele, Georgia, the 7-yard scoring strike has the Panthers on top first quarter, 21-0. After the extra point try by David Trout is tacked on. The hold by Danny Daniels. The kick splits the uprights, 21-0. The Panthers lead. Time of possession on the previous drive, 2 minutes, 21 seconds, 4:16 remaining in the first quarter. Pitt came in as a solid 4-touchdown favorite. And the Panther defense has really taken control against that Army offense. It's stifled them very much. David Trout's kickoff here, taken by Andre Quarrington. And he brings it up to the Army 38 on a good kickoff return. Walker tries the middle. Jackson and Neal are there. 2nd and 9, Army at its own 39. And a good defensive play by Ricky Jackson, whose 12 tackles on the afternoon spearheads this Panther defensive effort. And there's Jackson tripping up Pruitt on the reverse. Pruitt picks up only 1 yard. It's 3rd down and 8. Army at its own 40-yard line. The call goes to the fullback Waldorf, but Hugh Green is there. And a gain of 3 yards sets up a 4th down and 5 for Army, and it's a punt formation for Joe Sardiano. Watch number 87, Ricky Jackson. Sardiano in punt formation. The punt is blocked, and the Panthers take over. 1st and 10, Pitt again deep in Army territory at the Cadet 29-yard line. Rick Tricano, number 8. Shifting into the shotgun, a new offensive look for Coach Wally English, the Panther offensive coordinator. Bartola to the right. In the back to the left is Artrell Hawkins. Looking for Collier. Good coverage on the play by Love, and it sets up a 2nd down and 10. Collier, the senior from Cordele, Georgia. Very, very quick, exceptionally fine athlete. Tricano finds the handle, and on 2nd and 10, Hawkins, flat pass, keeps his feet, falls forward, picks up a Panther 1st down, 12-yard pickup, 1st and 10, Pitt at the Army 17. Another quarterback draw. Look at Tricano show the quickness to the outside, sealing it off, Wayne DiBartola. And Tricano is knocked out of bounds on the near side by Cook and Williams, but it is the Panthers with another 1st down and goal at the 5. The call goes to Artrell Hawkins, the senior from Johnstown, tripped up by Garrison, and then hurling himself into the end zone. It's Artrell Hawkins, and the Panthers again on the board. Still first quarter. The Panthers expected to defeat Army by 28 points, lead the Cadets 28-0. 49 seconds left of the first quarter. A chilly afternoon, temperature about 45 degrees. The wind is not really much of a factor here on the Hudson. There have been some chilly afternoons in this football stadium. Mikey Stadium is named after Dennis Mikey, who was the very first Army football coach in 1890. Allen, the freshman quarterback, ducks the first wave of rushers. Bill Neal gets a shot at him, and finally Mark Riker drags him down, and Army has a 2nd down and 6 at its own 24. Gerald Walker tries the left side, but number 99 is there, Hugh Green, the Heisman Trophy candidate. And the quarter ends with the Panthers leading 28-0. Waldorf on the first play of the second quarter tries the middle. Neal and Fidel are there, so on a 4th and 1, Army again in punt formation. 39-yard punt. It was taken by Julius Dawkins for a 13-yard return. He's one of the nation's leaders, by the way, averaging 11.2 yards per punt return. Tricano tries to throw the football and falls on the loose football. It is ruled a fumble. Tricano recovers his own mistake. Now he reverses his field. Little screen pass to the right side, Artrell Hawkins. Borey's out in front. Sam's out in front. And it is Hawkins roaring forward, picking up good yardage to set up a 3rd down and 2, and Wayne DiBartolo rips off right tackle and gets the Panther first down at the Army 43-yard line. Tricano's pass is batted in the air by Garrison, intended for Michael Dabrowski. It's 2nd down and 10, Pitt at the Army 43. Again, Pitt goes to the air. This time, the pass is intercepted by Love for the Army Cadets, who take over 1st and 10 at their own 25. Allen to the right side. The pass in the flat complete to Pruitt. Forced out of bounds by Terry White. It picks up good yardage, a 1st down to the Army 43. This time, Walker with good individual ability keeps his feet. A very fine sophomore running back, Gerald Walker, forced out of bounds on the near side of the field by Tommy Flynn. On 2nd and 9, Allen fumbles. The fumble is recovered by Greg Meisner. Jackson and Williamson are the people who caused the fumble for the Panther defense. Wayne the Train goes to work, ripping off the left side with Dan Marino, now the Panther quarterback. The sophomore seeing his first action since suffering a knee injury against West Virginia almost a month ago. Into the shotgun formation goes the sophomore from Central Catholic. Puts it up. Long pass downfield, intercepted by Zoe in the end zone, intended for Dwight Collins. Army takes over 1st and 10 at its own 20. Walker trying to pick his way forward up the middle is hit by Jackson and Neal after an advance of only 2 yards. It's 2nd down and 8. Cadets trailing 28-0 early second quarter. Rob Heather tries the middle, but Greg Meisner, the senior from Valley High School, is there. An advance of only 1 yard. It's 3rd down and 7. Allen is back. Dumps the safety valve pass to Walker. He gets away from a couple of people, but the flag is down. It's holding against the Cadets. The penalty declined. The Panthers take the play. Army is forced to punt once again. Sartiano, another beautiful punt, a 50-yard effort. The Panthers allow it to roll, and it takes a big Army bounce. And just keeps rolling and rolling, finally dead at the Pitt 27-yard line. Panthers leading 28-0. Marino at quarterback, 1st and 10. The Panthers at their own 27. On the slant left, it's DiBartola, hit by Mazik and Ruby. For the Cadets, 2nd down, 7, a gain of 3 yards on the play. And on the audible, it is Marino going into the shotgun with a single setback beside him in DiBartola. The pass to the near side complete to Mike Dombrowski, one of the game captains today. He is a senior from Buffalo, New York. That's a pickup of 8 yards and a 1st down. Pitt 1st and 10 at its own 38-yard line. Marino with time, again to Dombrowski. And the Panthers get forward to the Army 47-yard line. Marino again back to pass. The Panthers going to the air quite a bit against the Cadets this afternoon. This one is fumbled by Willie Collier. Diving for it, Dwight Collins is injured on the play, and the possession is ruled for the Panthers. The ball was out of bounds. Marino changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Dwight Collins is out of the game with a pinched nerve and also a mild concussion. DiBartola bouncing out of there in the classic fullback tradition. On the draw play, DiBartola picks up yardage from the Army 43 to the 36. It's a 7-yard gain. The Panthers face a 2nd down and 3. Collier the target, number 4. 1st down for Pitt. Look at that extra effort. Dodging the tacklers for Collier. Picking up yardage, 18 yards to the 18-yard line. And again, the call goes to Wayne the Train, who slips and falls after a 5-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 5. Again, DiBartola straight ahead. Ruby and Love make the tackle, but Wayne the Train gets 2 yards to the 11 where the Panthers face a 3rd down and 3. Pitch back to Joe McCall. McCall going right, but the Panthers are hit with an illegal use of hands call. It's holding against the Pitt offense. It's 3rd down and 8, Pitt at the Army 16. Down to the goal line, and Collier is into the end zone for the Panther touchdown. A 16-yard effort from Marino, and Pitt leads this contest 35-0 after the extra point try by David Trout. In the all-time series, the Panthers have 15 victories. Army has 6. There have been 2 ties. Pitt has pulled off 4 shutouts against the Cadets in the series. Meanwhile, Army has pulled off 2 against the Panthers. The Pitt has won the last 7 meetings between these two schools. Most of those by big scores, by the way. Kickoff return by Quarrington. Tripped up by Troy Hill. Army starting deep in its own territory. 1st and 10 at its own 15. The Panthers' specialty teams once again doing an excellent job. Pitch back to Gerald Walker. Look out. He finds a crack and then decides to cut it back. He's got the quickness. Hugh Green can't head him off. Carlton Williamson is in hot pursuit. Terry White is in hot pursuit. Williamson claims he was bumped by one of the officials. It was inadvertent. Could do nothing about it. And that's one of the longer runs in Army history. 85 yards for the score. It electrifies the crowd of 31,000 plus. The extra point is up by Aquin, and it's good. They say that Beachy was holding the football. Aquin's kick splits the uprights, and Army's on the board. It's 35-7. The Panthers lead by 28. Here's Aquin's kick. A short effort that's picked up by Brian Thomas, the junior from Oberlin, Ohio, and he comes forward for Panther 1st and 10 at its own 26 out of the shotgun. Marino to Willie Collier. Collier running a beautiful pattern, picks up the Panther first down. The gain is 24 yards to midfield. Again out of the shotgun. It is Michael Dabrowski, the target, does a good job of climbing the ladder, pulling the ball down, and then knocking tacklers over. Gets forward to the 41. It's a 9-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 1. Pitt leading 35-7. Second quarter at Michie Stadium, where the Panthers are playing the Cadets for the 2nd year in a row. Panthers, first time this year, going to the shotgun. Long pass by Marino near sideline, and Collier was ruled out of bounds. He didn't hold on anyhow, so it's an incomplete pass. And now the Panthers, after being the beneficiaries of roughing the passer call against Army, have another one picked off. Marino's pass intended over the middle for Collier, intercepted by Love. Covert finally makes the tackle, and Army takes over 1st and 10 at its own 35-yard line. Allen with play action. Big heat on the corner fire. Fires the pass, and it's complete on the far side to Pruitt. A gain of 7 yards. It's 2nd down and 3. Pruitt in motion. Play action fake by Allen. Hugh Green on the sack. A loss of 6 yards. Army now facing a 3rd down and 8 at its own 37. Watch the sideline. They say that Lynn Thomas on this play interfered with Fonestock, and the penalty goes against the Panthers. Army with a 1st and 10 at the Pitt 38. Again, Allen looking this time for Pruitt to the right side, but the pass is thrown wide of the mark. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Army at the Pitt 38-yard line. The pitch back, and Waldorf is tackled by Greg Meisner behind the line of scrimmage. Army with a 3rd and 15. Pass over the middle intended for his fullback Heather is incomplete. Good coverage by the Panthers, especially Carlton Williamson. It's punt formation. No, it isn't. Sardiano gets the pitch back from the quarterback who stepped under center, and this pass is complete to Quarrington. He needs 16. He gets only 13, and the Panthers take over on downs. 1st and 10, Pitt at its own 31. And Marino, the sophomore quarterback, sharing time this afternoon with Rick Tricano. Backs up on the big rush and sets up the screen pass perfectly to Rooster Jones. A pickup of 11 yards. A Panther first down at the Army 42. Back again is Marino. This pass is thrown slightly behind the mark, intended for John Brown, the sophomore from Lower Burrell. Love defending. 2nd down 10. Pitt at its own 42. This time Marino hits Pryor. 17-yard pickup off the left side. Benji Pryor gets a Panther first down at the Army 48-yard line. Marino's pass, however, intended for Pryor this time, incomplete, broken up by Douch. 2nd and 10. Pitt at the Army 41. Over the middle, it is Artrell Hawkins picking up 9 yards, and the Panthers now have a 3rd down and 1, late second quarter. Pitt ahead 35-7. Marino's pass this time is intended for Jones. It's incomplete, and on 4th and 1, the Panthers decide to try to get it on the ground. And Rooster Jones, following that blocking of Wayne DiBartola, off the left side, it is Russ Grimm, Jimbo Covert, Rob Feta, and the Panthers get the first down. Marino takes advantage of it by hitting Pryor, but there's a flag on the play. The Panthers had an ineligible receiver downfield. The gain will be nullified. It brings the ball back to the Army 42-yard line, where Pitt has a 1st down and 25. The Panthers hit now with double jeopardy. They go in motion, but the penalty will be declined for a reason that you shall witness. Low snap out of the shotgun. Marino has some time, fires for the end zone, And the pass is picked off by Zowie. He has 3 interceptions in the game. So does Love. The Panthers throw 7 interceptions. This fumble by Allen is recovered by himself, and it sets up a 2nd down and 10. Army at its own 8-yard line. Walker tries the left side. Boyarsky is there, and that's the final play of the first half. Pitt leading Army, manhandling the Black Knights of the Hudson 35-7 at halftime. And the question is, how can a team that throws 5 interceptions lead by 28 points at the half? The answer in the yardage. Pitt in the first half, 317 total yards, Army 110. A hot potato on the second half kickoff. Finally, Artrell Hawkins decides to dive on it, and the Panthers start from their own 5-yard line. Once again, it's senior Rick Tricano as the Panther quarterback, Pitt's all-time leading passer. Joe McCall trying the right side, gets 5 yards, then 8 yards. And watch this draw play to Wayne the Train DiBartola behind left guard Ronnie Sams, a sophomore from Fayette. And Jimbo Covert doing a fine job also on the blocking up front. That's a 12-yard pickup. Let's take another look at the draw play. Tricano, the quarterback, will hand off to number 31, DiBartola. And Wayne the Train will follow that blocking, supplied by center Russ Grimm, left guard Moose Sams, and left tackle Jimbo Covert. 2 fine sophomores on that left side of the Panther offensive wall. 1st down and 10, the Panthers at their own 30-yard line. Rick Tricano now going to the air, looking for number 84, senior Benji Pryor, the All-America candidate from Valley High School. The pass slightly tall. Pryor gets a couple of fingers on it, and that's about all. It's incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10. Pass incomplete for John Brown, the sophomore from Lower Burrell. Tricano pressured, does a good job of relieving the pressure, and then does a great job of throwing the ball away. So the Panthers on 4th and 15 bring on David Hepler, the sophomore from Valley High School. Gets the snap and gets the kick away. 37-yard punt. And interference is ruled here. It's a 15-yard penalty against the Panthers. Army with excellent field position, crosses the midfield strike, and has a 1st and 10 at the Pitt 48-yard line. The Panthers leading in the 3rd quarter, 35-7. All of the points having been scored in that first half. Walker tries to get to the outside of the Panther defense, does a good job, and finally Steve Fidel forces Walker out of bounds on the far side of the field after Walker picks up a 1st down and 11-yard gain. 1st and 10, Army at the Pitt 37. Elam to Heather, straight ahead, but Jerry Boyarsky's there. It's a loss of 2 yards on the play. The Cookie Monster, the senior from Scott, Pennsylvania, and Lakeland High School, supplies a tackle for the Panthers. And look at that. Way to diagnose the reverse. Carlton Williamson on the tackle. And Army now facing a 3rd down and 19. They decide to go to the air. Allen just lays it up for Mike Fonestock, but the pass is incomplete with Lynn Thomas defending, and Army is in punt formation once again. Sardiano's punt, 31 yards, is taken on the fair catch by Troy Hill at the Pitt 15-yard line. The Panthers leading 35-7, take over 1st and 10. Rick Tricano rolling left. Is he going to pass or is he going to keep it? He finds the target downfield. Willie Collier picks up 22 yards and a Panther 1st down out to the Pitt 37-yard line. Tricano now looking for Benji Pryor, number 84. Tricano's pass is on the money. Pryor does a good job with those glue hands of pulling it in, but there's a penalty, illegal procedure against the Panthers. And instead of 1st and 10 at the Pitt 37, the Panthers are forced back to their own 32 with a 1st and 15. Again, the audible at the line of scrimmage by the senior with Paul Dunn playing right guard now. Rob Fada playing left guard. And off left guard comes Wayne the Train on the draw play. 3 yards for DiBartola. It's 2nd down and 12. The Panthers at their own 35. Quick out pattern. And it's a nice little slip screen to Willie Collier, who picks up 5 yards, and the Panthers face a 3rd down and 7. Pitt going with 2 tight ends quite a bit against the Army Cadets this afternoon, and one of those is senior Michael Dombrowski. One of the areas that the Panthers will have to find some replacements next year for Coach Jackie Sherrill. One fine replacement on hand is Dennis Ballard, the fine sophomore from West Virginia. Punt formation for David Hepler. 43-yard punt is taken on a fair catch by Pruitt at the Army 17-yard line, and that's where the Cadets pick it up 1st and 10. Allen is the quarterback, and he hands off to Walker, but Jerry Boyarsky's there, and it's a gain of only 1 yard. It's 2nd down and 9. Army at its 18-yard line. Allen looking for his tight end, Skinner. And the pass is incomplete. Terry White defending on the play. It's 3rd down and 9. This time Heather gets the call, and again the Cookie Monster jams that middle up. Jerry Boyarsky on the tackle. A 2-yard gain. It's 4th and 7. And the Army punt team has spent a lot of time on that football field this afternoon. By the way, the capacity of Michie Stadium, 39,000. A crowd of 31,000 on hand. And it's a pretty nice November afternoon for football. The sun, as you see, is breaking through. This punt by Julius Dawkins is returned 9 yards. It's a 37-yard punt. The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Another draw play for Wayne DiBartola, who has his biggest day as a Panther. Before it's all over, Wayne the Train, the junior from Baldwin, will have scored his first rushing touchdown, which he already did in the second quarter, and he'll pick up 64 yards on 13 carries. Tricano sets up a tight end screen to Benji Pryor. Big Benji needing 4 yards, gets good blocking and 8 yards, and a Panther first down. Pitt 1st and 10 at the Army 34-yard line. Pitt leads the Cadets 35-7. Panthers hopeful of a major bowl bid. Need an upset against Georgia, or perhaps something very strange like a tie between Notre Dame and Alabama. Before the afternoon is finished, the Panthers learn their fate is not to be involved in a major bowl. In 1980, they'll accept a Gator Bowl bid to take on the Gamecocks of South Carolina and Heisman Trophy candidate George Rogers. Tricano back to pass to John Brown across the middle, a 25-yard gain and a Panther first down at the Army 7-yard line. Panthers are hit with a holding call on this particular play. Quarterback draw, the umpire throwing the flag. Umpire Larry Ellis detects a holding penalty and an infraction against the Panthers. So instead of 1st and goal at the 7, it's now 1st and goal, Pitt at the Army 22-yard line. Left corner of the end zone. Willie Collier is there, but the pass is slightly behind him. It's incomplete. It's 2nd down and goal. Pitt goes to the draw play, and again it's Wayne the Train. Good job of blocking by Mark May, Benji Pryor, Emil Bories, and getting 8 yards on the draw play. DiBartola sets up a 3rd and goal at the Army 14. John Brown is again the Panther intended receiver, but Baston breaks the pass up for the Cadets. And the field goal try by David Trout of 30 yards out of the hold by Danny Daniels is up and good. And the Panthers lead this contest 38-7. 4:57 left of the 3rd quarter. David Trout, the senior from Southmoreland High School. His kickoff is into the end zone, and it is Williams trying to bring it out. Army is hit with a clipping call, and the ball is placed at the Army 6-yard line, half the distance. It's 1st down and 10 for the Cadets. Panthers lead it 38-7. Panther defense goes to work. Steve Fidel and Bill Neal do a job on Waldorf, the fullback. He picks up only 3 yards. It's 2nd down, 7. Number 88 is Mike Fonestock, a very fine receiver for the Army Cadets. He needs 3 receptions this afternoon to become Army's 2nd all-time leading receiver. In this game, at 34 yards over the middle, Lynn Thomas made the tackle, gives Army 1st and 10 at its own 43-yard line and gets the Cadets out of a hole. This time, Steve Fidel and Jerry Boyarsky are there after an advance of only 1 yard by Waldorf. Watch Ricky Jackson. On the sack, he hits Allen hard. A 5-yard loss. It's 3rd down and 14. And from its own 39, again, Army will try to pass. This time, it's the youngest of the Pelusi's, and that's J.C. Pelusi on the sack. He gets in there after tremendous pressure by that Panther forward wall. And Pelusi, the sophomore, upends Allen for a loss of 10 yards. It's 4th down and 24, and obviously a punting situation for Army. Sardiano barely gets it away as Jackson roars in on him. This punt of 43 yards rolls dead at the Pitt 28-yard line, and the Panthers go into business, leading Army 38-7, late 3rd quarter. 1st and 10, the Panthers at their own 28-yard line. It's Dan Marino, the sophomore quarterback, taking over for Rick Tricano. They've been sharing time this afternoon. Both quarterbacks contributing to what will be, at the end of the game, a Panther passing record for a single game, 434 yards. This pass from Marino to Brown is complete for 12 yards and a 1st down to the Pitt 40. This pass from Marino is complete to Artrell Hawkins. He picks up 16 yards on a good individual effort and finally is tackled by Cook. Army 44-yard line is a line of scrimmage, and Marino again goes to the air. Left flat, Wayne the Train, screen play. Good blocking up front. It is Covert spearheading that Panther wedge, and Wayne the Train picks up 22 yards on the screen pass and a Panther first down at the Army 22. One of 4 sacks the entire year allowed by the Panther offensive line. Streets and March bring Marino down for a loss of 10 yards. And the final play of the 3rd quarter, Pitt with that comfortable lead, 38-7 over the Cadets of Army. Marino this time, looking for Hawkins down the left sideline, and it's a Panther touchdown. It covers 32 yards, and the Panthers are once again on the board. Artrell Hawkins his first pass TD reception of the year. The senior from Johnstown gets into that left corner of the end zone, and Pitt is on the board leading 45-7 early fourth quarter. In this contest, the Panthers roll up 436 yards, completing 31 of 54 passes, surviving 7 interceptions. Marino in the contest, 20 of 30 with 4 interceptions. Turcano, 11 of 23 completions with 2 intercepted. Marino, by the way, throwing for a season high 292 yards. Turcano throwing for 144 yards. Each quarterback throwing for 2 touchdowns. So Army goes to work, trailing 45-7. Walker trying the right side, picks up 1. Allen rolling right, intended for Pruitt. The pass incomplete. Good job by Pete Short, the sophomore from Aliquippa, defending on the pass. Army with a 3rd and 9. Allen ducks the initial wave of the rush, decides to keep. Jackson making the tackle, along with Phil Pizzoli, the sophomore from Stamford, Connecticut. No gain on the play, and it's 4th down and 9. Sardiano does a good job of corralling a high snap and getting the punt away. A 34-yard punt. Julius Dawkins decides to fair catch, and Pitt takes over 1st and 10 at the Panther 45-yard line. Marino goes to work. Pryor, pass complete for 14 yards. Williams provided the tackle for Army. Pitt with a 1st and 10 at the Army 41. Marino will look for number 18, John Brown, the sophomore from Lower Borough, working off play action. Zipping that ball, but the pass is batted in the air and intercepted by Love, who, along with Zowie, has 3 interceptions for the Cadets. That's not a bad afternoon for a defensive back. Still, the Panthers are able to put 45 points on the board. Gary Boyarsky and Michael Woods go to work as Walker's tackled for no gain. Allen is back to pass. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage by Rich Cranack, the sophomore from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, the heir apparent to the defensive end spot, which will be vacated when Hugh Green graduates. Tommy Flynn getting there as the pass is complete to Fonestock. Short made the tackle on the play for Pitt. 16-yard gain. Army 1st and 10 at its own 35-yard line. Walker trying the left side. Bucklew makes the tackle. Dave Bucklew, the senior tackle from Baldwin High School. 2nd down 9, Army at its own 36-yard line. Allen's pass is complete to Quarrington. Ray Lau, the junior from Brooklyn, a linebacker, number 41, who has about 30 people coming up from New York City to watch this contest and watch him in action. Makes the tackle on the play. This time, Quarrington on the pitch is tackled by Tommy Flynn. It's 4th down and 2, and again, Army is forced to punt. Sardiano's punt this time, traveling 37 yards. Tommy Flynn, the freshman from Penn Hills High School, fair catch, and Pitt takes over 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line. Dan Marino hands it off to Artrell Hawkins, who goes to the right side, and Hawkins picks up 8 yards. It's 2nd down and 2. The Panthers' pass over the middle for Pryor will be incomplete. In the football game, the Panther receiving figures look like this. Willie Collier, 7 receptions for 103 yards. Artrell Hawkins, 6 receptions for 94 yards. Benji Pryor, 4 receptions for 67 yards. This one's incomplete. John Brown, 4 receptions, 63 yards. Dwight Collins, 3 for 45 yards. By the way, Collins on the earlier touchdown pass broke a Pitt single-season record for 10 touchdown receptions. The previous mark of 9 held by Gordon Jones. This pass, intended for Artrell Hawkins, is incomplete in the left flat. Now, on 2nd and 10, play action fake by Marino. Looks for Brown. Brown is open and picks up 16 yards and a Panther 1st down out to the Pitt 46-yard line. Again, Marino back. Safety valve. Wayne the Train gets open and picks up 4 yards. Tackled by Cook. It's 2nd down 6. Pitt at midfield. Draw play. Artrell Hawkins trying the right side behind some good blocking, and he gets 5 yards on the play and another Panther 1st down. This one at the Army 45. Following the lead blocking, it's Artrell Hawkins off the left side. Tackled by Sweeney, an advance of 5 yards. Marino's pass complete to Pryor. 28-yard gain for Big Benji, who has another outstanding day as a Panthers senior tight end. Marino, under some heat, is sacked on the play. Very few times in 1980 has that picture happened before your eyes. As the Panther forward wall, Covert, Sands, Grimm over the football, Dunn, Voorhees. And many people feel next year will be a legitimate All-America candidate for the Panthers as a guard. Pass complete to Hawkins for 7 yards right flat. On 3rd and 16, over the middle, the pass to John Brown is complete. 10-yard gain. Pitt on 4th and 6 is at the Army 8-yard line. And the Panthers decide to try to punch it in on the little lob pass, but it's incomplete, intended for Dawkins. Good defensive play by Love, and Army takes over on downs at its own 8-yard line. The Cadets trail 45-7. Decker is now at quarterback. He is also a freshman, taking the place of Allen. Quarrington off left tackle, 2 yards. Cranack made the tackle. Decker's pass intended for Fonestock, broken up by Troy Hill. Watch number 55, Rich Cranack, the defensive end from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, the sophomore. He gets a good piece of Decker, the quarterback here. Decker, play action fake. Cranack, down he goes for the sack of 13 yards. A great play by Cranack, number 55. And now it's 3rd and 21, Army from its own 8-yard line. Decker loses the handle, does a good job of getting it back, and J.C. Pelusi almost came up with a bacon for the Panthers, but Army holds on and is forced to punt from its own end zone. Sartiano awaiting the snap. Gets plenty of time and gets the kick away. Julius Dawkins, after the 45-yard punt, tries to set something up to the left side, but runs out of pasture and steps out of bounds. And the Panthers take over 1st and 10 at the Pitt 39-yard line. Danny Daniels is the new quarterback, and on his first play, the pass intercepted by Sweeney. Army takes over 1st and 10 at the Pitt 45-yard line. Army trailing 45-7, trying to get some more points on the board here, and Decker's pass is complete to Skinner, the tight end. Ray Lau making the tackle, an 11-yard gain, a first down for the Cadets at the Pitt 34-yard line. Decker looks for Fonestock on the sideline. Dukovic is there on the coverage for the Panthers. The pass wide of the mark incomplete. Then Army comes up with a fumble of its own. Fortunately for the Cadets, Waddell, an offensive lineman, picks up the loose football. Decker, the freshman, drops the football. That may be the guard eligible as Waddell gets 5 yards, setting up a 3rd and 5 at the Pitt 29-yard line. Pruitt is the intended receiver down inside the 10. Big rush by the Panther defense, forces the pass too tall near the goal line, and watch this play in the end zone by number 26, Tim Lewis, with help from number 11, Rich Dukovic. The pass is incomplete, intended for Fonestock, and the Panthers take over on downs. Sophomore Danny Daniels falls in the football, and the 45-7 victory over the Army is final. Jackie Sherrill's Panthers, for the 2nd time in the Sherrill era at Pitt, have accepted a bowl bid to the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida against South Carolina.